Hello friends, I am Manoj. In the previous session we have seen the introduction of DevOps, and today we are going to see the introduction of the Git. The first topic we have to see the Git. Okay, let me open the MS Paint for you to get a better understanding of how actually the Git works. Okay. What is Git first? First question that comes in your mind is what is Git? Okay, the Git is basically the version control system. You might have heard about the version control system before also. That is SVN. SVN is one of the version control system that is used in the IT. So, what is the advantages of Git over the SVN? We will see that in the after session. In the later session, we will to see this. What are the advantages of the Git over the SVN? Okay, let's first understand what is the Git. Okay, so for our better understanding, I have drawn here a picture for you. You can see here. Okay, so here is one local machine. You can see local machine 1, local machine 2, local machine 3. In the local machine 1, here is the developer 1 who write their codes in his local machine. Similarly, the developer to write his codes in his local machine 2, and so on. And each machine has its own local repository. You might have been familiar with this word repo. Repo is basically consists of a data. In Linux, you might have heard the repositories. Okay, which consist of the packages. Basically it is softwares that is used in Linux. So in this repositories, the whole codes are written here in it. It saves the codes in this local repo. So after writing his code, he commits his code to his local repository. And what is committing? COMMIT. What is commit? Commit is basically to save his file to the local repository. This is the meaning of the commit, and each commit is different for one another. Before committing, we have to specify with the flag -m and give him a particular message. What kind of commit he is going to define in it. In the further session, we will understand this, what exactly I am saying. In the practical session, we are going to see this commit. Okay, so stay tuned. So after committing the message, he actually push his codes to the central repository. This central repository is basically a GitHub, which I was talking in the first lecture we have seen what is GitHub. GitHub is basically a central repository which is stored. You can see here. Actually, I can show you here also. Just wait, guys. Go to the site GitHub. Yeah, and GitHub. See here. This is a GitHub platform. It is a web-based host hosting with a version control using Git. Okay, let me sign in. I have already my account in this. See here. So I have to now just sign in it. You have to make an account for here. You have to do sign up from the GitHub and make your account for this. Okay. So after writing the codes in the local repository, so it will be saved in his local repository. After local repository, he can push his codes to the central repository, which is this here. See here, I have these repositories. In the later session, we will talk about it practically. These are my codes which I have pushed from my local repository to the central repository. See, these are the files 2 months ago, 18 days ago, a month ago, and so on. Okay, guys, this was my first project for the GitHub. I have explicitly here defined the message for it to give a particular, to give a specific name to understand for the rest of the developers. Okay guys, so if we push this codes to the central repository, everyone can see the codes who are connected to your central repository. So dev 2 can see the codes which you have pushed to the central repository. So he can basically pull his code, pull your repositories into his local repository. So after pulling that code, then he can see your codes also. So this is one of the greatest, you can say, advantages of the Git. And there are various other advantages of the Git also. Second advantage, that would be, I can say, track changes. Then who have done what? Track changes. Who has done what kind of changes? Okay. So if the developer 1 write his codes and push his code to the central repository, so the dev 2 can track his changes, what kind of changes he has made to his local repository, and push his code to the central repository, and so on. The dev 3 can do that. This is one of the greatest advantages of the Git. And even if the developer finds that he has saved his wrong file into the local repository, he can revert back to it also. So third advantages of the Git is easy to switch back. This is one of the greatest advantages of the Git. Switch back to the older version. So what is the versions? Basically, when the developer 1 writes his codes, that is, for let's assume for an example, let's take an example. He writes his code. This is the first code 1, and this is the code to file code 2. Okay, let's do one again. So code 3. Okay, so he saves this file, and again he saves this file also. So again you want to revert this file. You don't want these two files, and again you want to this file. So he can revert back to that version after each commit. The repository is saved. The code is saved into the repository, so he can anytime revert into it. This is one of the advantages. And Git is also known as the DVCS, distributed version control system. This is the full form of DVS. There are basically two types of version types of the Git, that is CVS and DVCS. CVS is a centralized, and this DVS is distributed version control system. Centralized version control system and distributed version control system. In centralized version control system, there is a one drawback in that we don't have this kinds of local repo in it. Developer has to write their codes and directly push to the central repository. So one of the drawbacks is that if this server crashes, the whole of the data will be crashed. We don't have any kind of backup for that. Okay, so here comes the GitHub for that. In GitHub we have the DVS kind of concept in it. Okay, this is a distributed version control system. In distributed system we have the local repository, which is missing in the central, which is missing in CVS. We don't have any kind of local repository into the CVS. So every time in the Git we have the backup in the local repository. Even if the system crashes, even if the GitHub crashes, we have the backup into it. Okay, so in the next session we are going to see the actual practical of the Git. First we will see the installation of the Git. First we will see installation. Second we will see some of the basic commands of the Git, how we will define the roles of the, how we can be a user into the Git. Okay, and we can assign email address also into the Git. In the next session we will see that. Thank you guys.